Welcome to Ignite Success. I'm your host, Snowden McFall, professional speaker, author, and coach. And with me today is Madeline Scales-Taylor, who's going to tell us all about a new program that she's working with to help retain young professionals in the greater North Florida, Jacksonville area. Welcome, Madeline.
Thank you, Snowden.
So, Madeline, first tell us about your background, because I know you've been a long-time professional here in Jacksonville. You were at Mayo Clinic.
Right.
What did you do there?
I was the director, or the administrator as we call it, of community affairs with Mayo Clinic in my last position prior to retirement. But I've been retired now for 10 years.
Have you really? Now, see, so I moved here 13 years ago, and I met you through Leadership Jacksonville.
Absolutely.
So I know you've been a long-time volunteer for them.
Oh, positively.
And so, what is this new program? Tell us about it.
Well, it's an exciting adventure that we're undertaking here at UNF. We're looking at retaining young millennials.
Okay.
Those individuals that are between 23, some people say 24, and 45.
Okay.
We want them to stay in Jacksonville because they're the energy, the vitality.
That's right. That's right.
That Jacksonville wants to retain. And so we're looking at how do we jumpstart those young people in the Jacksonville community and get them engaged in Jacksonville. Because we know if we can keep them 2 years, we're more likely to keep them 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Wow.
But those 2 years when they're trying to find their way in Jacksonville are the most difficult.
So is that what your program is going to be focused on, those first 2 years when they arrive here?
Those first 2 years, really that first year. We know that Jacksonville is a medium-sized city,
Right.
where these young people can make an impact on the success of Jacksonville
Yes.
quite readily. But we've got to get them engaged. We've got to get them to buy into the success of Jacksonville. And that's what we're trying to do with this program.
So are you working in concert with Impact Jacks in the Chamber, the Young Professionals organization there?
We are consulting with them. We're in the development stages of this program. So it's early on. So if any of your viewers want to get involved, particularly companies in the area that might see this as something that they want to invest in, we're certainly open to that as well.
Because obviously, you know, in our community, your workforce in the future is going to come from these young professionals, these young millennials.
Yes, it is. And these are individuals where companies often have made an investment already because they've relocated them to Jacksonville, either right out of college or grad school or early on in their careers. So we want to keep them here. We don't want them coming and staying a couple of years and then saying, you know, yeah, it's not the big city that I wanted. We want them to see that they can make a difference. So we want to get them engaged either in civic organizations, business organizations, or in volunteer opportunities, interests that they might have.
Well, and all the research, I was just reading another article about that this weekend, all the research about millennials is they do care about their community. They want to make a difference. Social responsibility is very important to them. Being involved in community is very important to them, much more so than the workaholic phases that perhaps boomers are known for.
Absolutely. And Jacksonville's a place where you can get engaged with city council quite readily. You can get engaged with the mayor easily. You may be a couple of phone calls away from that. That's not the case in some of the larger cities like Chicago or New York or even Charlotte. But here in Jacksonville, people want to see these young people stay in our city, and they want to give them the opportunity to make a difference.
Well, and I had on the show here Gabrielle McGid. I don't know if you know her, but she has a wonderful program to help with mental illness, and she's exactly the demographic that you're describing, making a difference in the community, in fact, spreading her program around the country. So that's a lot of different opportunities. Now, are you tapping into and asking currently happy millennials what works for them and getting their guidance?
I am. I've talked to, I would say, at least 25 to 50 young folk who have moved here and kind of the last 5 years,
right,
to get an idea of what they're looking for. And it's been very interesting to hear what they're saying. They like things about Jacksonville in that, you know, you can have a resort feel in Jacksonville by living at the beach. Right. You can have a big city feel by living downtown. Right. Or you can live in Mandarin and have a suburban feel. Right. Or Riverside. Right. And have a more urban feel. That's right. So they like that idea. But they find that while we're a warm city, we're so large that there's not what I call the watering holes. Yes. Places where young people can gather and get connected to other young people. So we have to help them to find those ways to connect. So what is the best way for people to reach out to you for this program if they're interested in being a corporate supporter or participation? How would you like them to contact you? I would suggest that they contact University of North Florida in their continuing education program, so because that's where it will reside. Okay, so through Dr. Edith Abdullah? Through Dr. Abdullah. Wonderful, because she was on our show not too long ago. That's wonderful. And then, are there any specific messages you have, one last parting message you might have for millennials who are on the fence about staying here? What I would say is it's a wonderful place to live and work and play. Get connected. Find ways to find your tribe, as I call it. Yes. And you'll stay. There you go. Well, thank you so much for being here, Madeline, and for the great work that you continue to do. Appreciate you. Snowden.